Okay. Well, I'm going to get started now. First of all, thanks everybody for joining me this Sunday morning. I'm going to basically go over a lot of things about the league for this upcoming season. Just this is more of a top-down, more general kind of overview. And I've got a few talking points I'm going to go over, and then at the end of the meeting, there will be time for a Q&A for anybody that has any questions, and I'd love to answer. A brief history, I guess, about me or who I am. My name is Masi Segopian. I've been the commissioner of the CSYBA now for over 15 years. And then as of just last year, the CSYBA and what used to be the Chicagoland Sunday Baseball League are now one of the same. We're part of the same league. Just to give some background about the CSYBA and who I am and what it's all about. The CSYBA has been around for decades at this point, and it's a house league at the end of the day that facilitates games and communication in the leagues between communities who at some point might reach a point where they don't have enough teams to have their own internal house league. So they would put their teams into the CSYBA and there'd be some, inner community play. That's what it was founded on decades ago. And as unfortunately, as house leagues have kind of like scaled back or shrunk a little bit, the CSYBA actually has kind of exploded. Primarily in the northwest, and west suburbs and parts of the city. The CSYBA has annual participation at the house league level only of over 700 teams. This goes from 7-year-olds all the way through high school, and even a young adult league that I actually play in. So we have leagues in the spring, summer, and fall, all for the rec level. Uh, Obviously, we're not here to talk about the rec level, but in 2025, the Chicagoland Sunday League, which was run by Anthony Belmonte, and it's a father and son duo for over a decade. They were looking to get out. They talked to me. We brought it together, and last year was kind of a transitional year. But now this year, the Chicagoland Sunday League is now fully under the CSYBA umbrella, and excited about the upcoming season. There are a couple changes that we'll talk about, but let's get into the nitty-gritty about the league. I first want to talk about the overall format of the league. So for baseball this year, we will have leagues for 7U, 8U, 9U, all the way through 14U for our spring season. And for softball, we will have an 8U, a 9U, 10U, 12U, and 14U. Also for baseball in the summer, we will have a 15U and 16U. I'll talk more about that. That's kind of separate from everything else. Uh, but registration is open. We've already had, as of this morning, I checked, we have over, I think, 105 teams have signed up so far, which puts us on par where we were at this point last year. Final anticipated enrollment is last year, I think we had 220 teams. So that's kind of the threshold we're trying to reach. Just some important dates. Officially, Sunday, April 12th is opening day for our season, and Sunday, June 28th is the end of the regular season. That timetable gives us 12 weekends of play. One of those is Memorial Day, which we're not going to play. Well, we'll have our Memorial Day tournament, but that's not a regular season date. So that gives us 11 Sundays to work with. When you sign up this year, it's more of a robust sign up process. There's a lot of information I can grab from you when you guys sign up. And if you've already signed up and after this meeting you need to change anything about your registration, not a problem at all. You can shoot me an email and I'll make amendments and build out the schedule accordingly. But when you sign up, it is a base 10 game season. So once you sign up, everybody gets to play 10 games minimum. And like I said, that gives us that we have 12 weekends or really 11 weekends to work with. So it's a game a week on a Sunday. Now, it's not a Sunday only league at this point. One thing I learned quite a bit last year is there was a lot of movement and volatility, and that created a little bit of chaos at times. My goal this year is to try to nip that in the butt ahead of time. So when you sign up your team, you can elect what days of the week you are available to play. Since Sundays sometimes don't work for everybody, or also sometimes two of those Sundays, one of those is Mother's Day, one of those is Father's Day. A lot of times in June, some teams might put their team into a weekend tournament. Anything that could come up that prevents your team from playing on a particular weekend is perfectly fine and acceptable. That just needs to be relayed to me when I build out the initial schedule so that I will black those out for you. I won't schedule, and I can work magic with the schedule. If you have any kind of specifications, certain days you can't play, certain days you have to play at a certain time, or there's been so many things. I like last year I had a few where there was two communities that are like, we have a bit of a rivalry. We want to play on this particular day. No problem. I can schedule that. Or sometimes there were some league events that, hey, we have our league picnic event on Saturday, June 15th or whatever. We'd like our travel teams to play that day too. Sure. I can build that into the schedule and send the team that's available on a Saturday to go play you. Um, Also, so at the end of the day, like I'm here to make this league as customized for you as possible. So don't hesitate to ask any kind of thing. I can't guarantee I can do everything, but I'll try my best to customize the schedule to your liking. Um, in addition to that, when you guys go to sign up your team, there are three levels for you can sign up as a double a single A, or a B team. These, depending on the age group, we our goal this year is for 9U, 10U, 11U, and 12U is to have completely distinctive levels for double and A, and it'll depend on final enrollment. But just to give a generalization, when you go to sign up, a double A team is to me specified as a team that's been established. They've played a year and they've had some level of success. If you played in this league last year and you were 8-2 or 9-1, or you did well in the playoffs or did well in the Memorial Day tournament, you should be a double A team. If you were a 500 team or so, or a 6-4 kind of team, and you've been established, that probably puts you as an A team. If you are a brand new team, or basically a house league plus kind of team with no travel experience, those are teams I would say you fit into the B. Um, I will take that information when I build out the initial schedule, and how it's going to be designed is if you sign up as a B team, you will play other B teams and you might play some local A teams. If you sign up as a double A team, you will play all the double A teams and you might play some of the local A teams. It's going to depend on final enrollment, but what I will totally avoid is if you sign up as a B, you will not play a double A. If you sign up as a double A, you will not play a B. And then beyond that, I will try to keep it as geographical as possible. Uh, we don't want to, for our leagues where we have a whole bunch of teams, uh, that there's no reason for, say, Naperville to play Munster at the 10-year-old level because there's 40 teams in the league or something. So, yeah. So for our youngest levels, 7U and 8U, they're the double A and B distinctions, they're kind of hidden. They will uh at 7U we have one league. There's not but I will still use that information when I build out the schedule. Um Talking about the schedule though, uh additionally when you sign up, it like I said, it is a base 10 game season. But if teams want to play 12 games or 14 games or 16 games, or whatever is in your team or your community's needs, you can choose that option when you sign up, and I will build the schedule accordingly. So if you want 14 games, you'll get 14 games. Um, and what will end up happening is I will build out the full schedule for you. And then I believe on March 15th, I believe, is when uh, I don't have that date exactly handy. I believe we will have our scheduling meeting. And I'll talk a lot more about this at the scheduling meeting. The exact time and location is to be determined still, but it will be that Sunday. When you go to the schedule meeting, you will get your schedule, and you'll probably get it a couple days in advance. But at the scheduling meeting, if you need to make any amendments, all the other coaches will be there. You could talk to other coaches, pull them aside, be like, hey, can we change the time, change the date, if you need to make any tweaks. My goal is to try to make the schedule as perfect as possible before the scheduling meeting so that once we get to that date, you don't have to change. In a perfect world, you don't have to change anything, and it's already customized to your needs. But I will build the schedule for you. So I take that stress out of you guys don't have to worry about that. Um, okay. Like I said, our regular season will run through the end of June. Our playoff season, we will have playoffs the week after the 4th of July. In particular, July 6th through the 12th, that week. Last year, we did limit it, so it's top, I think it was 16 teams, just to limit the number of rounds per age group. The exact number of teams will depend on final enrollment and whatnot. Uh, Regarding the playoffs, Sunday, July 12th is Championship Sunday. Those times and locations will be set. Last year we did it at West Side Baseball in Oakland hosted the championship at all levels. Um, we will have the championship at one set location for all levels. But prior to that, the week leading up to the championship, there's a lot of flexibility. I know we have a lot of little league programs, uh, and I know it just so happened that last year, and I think that's always standardized where if you're a little league program, I think their districts are usually that week. We can work with things. Flexibility is the name of the game, and I can work with whatever as long as I know well in advance, I will try to accommodate teams in whatever way is necessary. The only thing that's not flexible is the championship Sunday for the playoffs. That will need to go on. So that's if I'm working with you on something else, I need you to work with me on that one. Um, okay, talking about some league fees and the cost to play. So it's $225 a team to participate. That gets you entrance into the league, gets you your schedule, it gets you eligibility for the playoffs. And then it is $400 to participate in the Memorial Day tournament. And anybody who's been around for the travel world for years, $400 for a tournament these days is hard to come by. So we offer that only for our league teams. So in order to play in the Memorial Day tournament, you have to participate in our regular season. So it's kind of a discounted tournament, and it's a three-game guarantee, obviously played over Memorial Day. Exact format is you will play either one game on Saturday and two games on Sunday, or the reverse, two games on Saturday, one game on Sunday. A few things I learned from last year, how that tournament ran is so like I said, it is open only initially to uh, our league teams. The only exception to that is if we don't have a round number. Really, what I learned is you kind of need multiples of four because of the different pool play. Um, if we have 15 teams sign up, we might do a little bit of outreach to get to a perfect number so that the tournament can run perfectly. So there might be a team or two outside our league. We did that with softball at an age group last year, and that worked fantastically. That's a better alternative than we had some hodgepodge weird, like a pool of three teams or a pool of five teams. But that's getting into the nitty-gritty. There will be more about the Memorial Day tournament um, later. If you signed up for the league so far but did not elect the Memorial Day tournament, you still have plenty of time to do so. Really, by April 1st is kind of when I need the Memorial Day tournament numbers locked in so that if I need to do any wiggle room, like I said, with adding a team or two, I can do so. Um, But I really encourage everybody to play in the Memorial Day tournament. It's a good environment, and uh, how some other details about that is various teams in or various communities in our league will host at the different age groups. It's not all at one location. That's not really possible with the amount of teams that we had. But we have like satellite hubs where I think last year like Elmhurst hosted, LaGrange hosted, I think Flossmoor, Tinley Park. So it was kind of all over the place. And I put teams somewhat geographically so you're not going too far. Um, and there are, if you're interested in, if you hosted last year, if you were one of the host sites, and if you're interested in hosting again, please let me know, and we perhaps can make that arrangement. If you've never hosted before, but you're interested in hosting next year or this coming year, let me know. There might be an opening. The benefits of hosting are one, you get to play your games at home. Two, you the league will make a donation to your league, so you get a discount for each pool that you host. And three, like I was at, I think I was stationed at the Flossmoor location last year for the 12U tournament, and I remember that it was just so happened it was a rivalry championship game of Homewood and Flossmoor, and there were probably like 300 people at that game. And it gives a lot of exposure to your league for these tournaments, and you can offer like concessions to, help bolster your program. And it's a good feeling. It's a good look. So if you're interested in hosting, please let me know. Um, I want to talk about a few changes for the upcoming season that differ from previous years. Uh, Number one, after the season last year, we did a straw poll of all the league coordinators, and the big change is we've opened up our league for our Premier League, our travel league for regarding baseball bats and for well bats for all levels. So this year, USA, U, Triple SA, and BB Core bats, as long as they have any of those stamps, they are fine for baseball. So the feedback I generally got was a lot of our teams that play in the sun in our league here, they might play in additional tournaments or they do some stuff in July, and there's no tournament in the world that exists that doesn't allow um, full bats. So we've made that amendment. We started that in fall of this past year, but that's now fully implemented. Um, the other kind of major change is this goes back to the registration process a little bit. While predominantly the overwhelming majority of our teams are, we'll call them house league teams, they're connected to a community program, and obviously house league play is kind of essential or has historically been essential. What we learned a lot is there were some teams that didn't exactly fit that mold. And a lot of the reason for that is especially our smaller communities that have vibrant house leagues that say like the 8U or 9U or 10U level. You get a little older and there is no house league for some of the smaller communities. They don't have enough teams. And we had historically been losing some of those teams and going playing elsewhere because they previously were not able to fit the mandate that you had to play house league. That being said, we've made some tweaks for this year, and this might not be pertinent to you this year, but perhaps in future seasons. Um, if you're part of a program that has open enrollment and has a built-in house league, you can now play in the CSYBA Premier League, even if your particular team does not participate in your internal house league. And this is, like I said, it's a case by case um, depending on um, the age group. Like if your league might not have a house league or whatnot, you can still participate in the CSYBA. The only things are, like I said, there's the distinction of double A, single A, and B. If you are not participating in house league ball, you can't play at the lowest level. So you'll have to play either at the double A or A. Um, Furthermore, there had been a few communities, a few programs that had kind of been like grandfathered in that were not necessarily house leagues at all. Um, I know we had like Big Baseball Academy in the city, and I think 312 baseball. On a case by case basis, we may allow teams that are not necessarily associated with the youth level. Those are case by case, and those teams would have to play at the double A level only. They can't play at the lowest levels. Um, so there's a little bit more flexibility. We want to encourage more teams to participate, and we want to avoid teams that were not able to meet that requirement from going elsewhere. We want to keep them in our league. Somebody had a message. I said for bats this year, USA is fine, BB Core is fine, and then USSSA is fine as long as it has a stamp, which is 90% of bats. They're good. Okay. Last thing I want to mention before I open it up is we will have, like I said, our coaches meeting here in about on March 15th. I'll go over a lot of this then, but managerial like requirements, I guess. Um, when at your games, if you're hosting a game, you need to obviously provide the field, provide the umpire. We recommend we leave it a little bit up to you, the communities for regarding umpires. So some like at the 8U level, 9U level, some programs use internal like teenagers, high schoolers to umpire their games. That's fine. They are not necessarily IHSA patch. That's fine. At the older levels, we do encourage communities to have two umpires for a game for 13U and 14U if that's practical, but there's some flexibility based on your community needs for the regular season. And and then the home community will provide two baseballs for every game. And yeah, there's a lot more that I will go over regarding managerial responsibilities at the scheduling meeting in March. But we have a little bit of time here, so I do want to open it up. If anybody has any questions, I know Zoom has like a 40-minute limit here, and it's telling me there's about 10 minutes left. But uh, Marty, I'll say the playoff dates are the week after the 4th of July. I have it as July 6th through 12th, I believe it was, or 7th through 12th. If you're in a 4th of July tournament, you're fine. That will have no bearing on our playoffs, so feel free to play. Uh, I would try to avoid a tournament the following weekend. If you are in a tournament the following weekend, again, there might be some flexibility where I can front load your schedule. But the only thing there's no flexibility regarding playoffs is Championship Sunday. Okay. Yeah, if anybody has any questions, feel free to, you can put it in the text chat or you can unmute yourself and talk to me. And
Does the change in bat roll, does that include part-time travel as well?
yeah, across the, that's everything for this league, for the Premier League. For yeah,
Thank you.
communities that are in the CSYBA House League, I don't know if there's any that CSYBA House League has not made any changes. So um, that's still just USA baseball bats. But for the purpose of this meeting, the Premier League, the Sunday League is all um, is USSA bats are fine.
Thank you.
Obviously, USA bats are still okay too.
Right.
Uh,
Morning. I had two games canceled last year, and the coaches just never worked with me to reschedule. They canceled on me. Are we ever going to consider either a refund process for something like that when that happens, or putting down like a deposit, and if you don't play your games, you lose your money? Because I mean that was frustrating to have games canceled and the coaches just ghosted me.
obviously, we don't want to do that. We don't want cancellations, obviously. And uh, my hope is this year with the more robust registration process is it is imperative teams if you are playing in like a the big problem was June tournaments. That was the big one. And teams sign up for a tournament, a weekend tournament, a Father's Day tournament, that kind of thing. And it's imperative that communities let me know ahead of time so we can kind of nip that in the butt ahead of time. So that if I know you can't play a particular weekend or two, we will not play you on those weekends. And there are on the flip side of the coin, there are some programs, not like I'll pick on Naperville, for example, but they have such a busy schedule where they are a Sunday only program. And I will make sure that they are only playing teams that are Sunday only. So the goal is with more information to try to make this, to try to mitigate that as much as possible. Uh, Furthermore, like I said, there are some teams that are Sunday, exclusively Sunday only. It could just so happen that it might rain 3 Sundays in a row. That's possible. And it's possible that the games that don't get played, there might be a possibility that some games are not able to get rescheduled. Um, and we'll address this as the season goes. If you had 2 games on your schedule that both got rained out in April and May, and you can't make up either game, we can do some mid-season repairing a little bit, where I might pair teams just to get them their extra game because some teams just don't have the flexibility because of how busy their house league schedule is or their field availability. At the moment, we are not. I don't have a deposit system or a refund system regarding that, but it's something to consider going forward.
Yeah, I think it would be great because I mean these two teams, it was just to be honest, I think they just gave up. It wasn't conflicts; they just had no interest in replaying, so they just that was it for them. So I mean, it's hard if you're going to reschedule the games, that'd be great. But it was me trying to text the coaches multiple times and just not getting a response. So I hope we can avoid that.
Yeah, I hope so too. Okay.
If we, question for you, if we signed up for a 10-game season, we've already registered, but we want to now do more, can we adjust that? And then when would those games be? Would they be during the week or additional Sundays?
So, yes, you can adjust that. Shoot me an email and just update any specifications. If you and just lay it out exactly what you were looking for. If you're say, hey, we're available on Fridays.
Got it.
If you're available, we'll take a couple double headers on Sundays if that's the only day you're available. Uh,
Cool.
as long as it fits in with the parameters. Like I saw some team signed up, they wanted 16 games, but then they said they can only play Sundays. That obviously doesn't work unless
Yeah. Right.
I'm never going to schedule double headers unless you specify you're okay with that. So as long as it's within the parameters of what's possible, I can make it work.
We
Thank you.
can we can do pickup games too, right?
Yes. So yeah. So the goal with the expanded schedule kind of was to build those in so they're not viewed as these as pickup games because some people don't take them as serious or whatnot. But those are still possible. Uh, I just won't put those on the schedule, and those are like up, kind of up to you.
All right, thank you.
One other thing I realized I forgot to mention, especially for the younger levels, registration deadline is February 15th. It's at that point I will start building out the schedule. If your team or if you're a community leader here and like you don't know, there's some of you might not know if you'll have an 8U team, for example, yet. Uh, at the youngest level, 7U and 8U, that registration deadline is a little bit flexible. So you'll see what your house league kind of registration is like. And if we have we can take some 8U teams throughout the month of March before the season starts. So if you're still considering play for the season, that's something to consider for the youngest levels.
Hey, Mazes, I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Sure. I
All
can hear
right.
you.
Quick question. So sorry for being late. And the other thing I was going to say is how soon do you know or need to know when we can host?
So I'm not going to build anything with scheduling until the February 15th deadline. So that would be uh, ideal for what your home availability is. If you're talking about the Memorial Day tournament, I'm not going to build that out till April 1st.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Justin, I that was off the top of my head. The managers meeting is on Sunday, March 22nd. Registration deadline is the 15th of February. I got those dates mixed up. This will be sent out well in advance in an email with all the information. Zoom is yelling at me saying I have about a minute left. So thank you all for attending. If there's any last second questions, I can probably answer. If not, free feel to email me or call me. I try to be as responsive as possible.